Is it on? Welcome back, you guys. Today's video is going to be pretty short. We're going to talk about Eugenia Cooney's dad. There's not a whole lot out there, but I'll do the best I can. Here we go!
Welcome to my YouTube channel with like 10 subscribers. If you happen to watch my videos, sure, you will love them. Cause I'll make you happy, bring you fun and smiles. The sun is shining and I'll sing out loud. La 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 la. I'm Sam, the one who makes you smile.
Alright, Kevin Cooney. Why am I talking about Kevin Cooney? We have never really seen this guy on video, apart from like that one time where there's that really grainy, blurry video. He comes in, he's in the background, it's Father's Day. Oh, you just got back. In that video, she's talking about how he's been gone for a while, and it's pretty obvious that he doesn't spend a whole lot of time in the house. If you don't know, Kevin Cooney's 62 years old. He is in finance, so he's like a broker or something, and he's got he's got a few bumps in the road himself. Last time we talked about Deborah and how she exudes some signs of possibly being an alcoholic. Daddy Cooney's not too much different. Alright, so December 19th, 2012, Kevin Cooney was pulled over with front-end damage to his vehicle, and he was charged with driving a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol. If you didn't know, that's drunk driving. He was driving drunk. The reason this is relevant is because a lot of the time in the videos, her mother also looks like she's under the influence of something, and that speaks to what kind of dynamic she grew up with and why she might have issues now. This arrest is public record, but I hesitate to throw a screenshot up on just because I don't want to be accused of doxing someone, and I would have to black out quite a bit of it just to make sure that I didn't include too much personal information. So I'm not going to do that. It's public record. Anyone that searches for it, it would be incredibly easy to find. But a word of caution. If you find other personal information about anyone online, not just someone who's famous or important or on the internet, what you do with that information speaks a whole lot about you as a person. While I was researching this, I did come across her address. And like a normal person, I will do absolutely nothing with that information because that doesn't help anyone. Showing up at someone's home is wrong. So if you choose to look for this information, please don't do anything with it that you wouldn't want done to you. Be wise with your choices. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on. With that being said, I do have a news article about the arrest. I'll throw that up on the screen for you to look at. It doesn't give out too much personal information, but it does back up that this did happen. And like I said, it's public record. Anyone can find it. So I know that was a long time ago, 2012. This is something, eventually, people who are under the influence often, you're going to get caught. There are some people who just have that one oddball. I was at a Christmas party and I decided to drive home and crap, I got caught by the police. Now what am I going to do? It happens. I get that. But we're looking at a girl on the internet that she's ill, she's sick, and the mother has issues. The whole family dynamic is in question. And then this comes out that the father also has a possible substance abuse issue. So what am I getting at? Dragging the dad through the mud. Here's what I think. Well, here's what I know. Children who grow up in homes with parents who are abusing drugs or alcohol are 3 times more likely to suffer sexual, emotional, or physical abuse, either by the parents or outside of the household. They're also more susceptible to addiction themselves, and that doesn't just mean to a substance. There are almost always emotional and developmental delays, and neglect is rampant among parents who put something above their children, whether it's drugs or alcohol. Sexual abuse is a common theme in a lot of Eugenia's old Twitter posts. I know you've all heard or seen the posts about her dreams where a dog is attacking her. I don't think, and this is my opinion, but I don't think that those are just dreams. I think that those are manifestations of something that she suffered in the past. We have it in black and white that these parents, at least one of them, has gotten in trouble for being under the influence of a substance, and that gives me no reason to think that she didn't spend her childhood with parents under the influence. I think a lot of this has to do with emotional and mental damage that she suffered at the hands of her parents. Why is that important? There are teenage girls watching her thinking that I can be that thin and my hair will still be healthy. I can be that thin and I can still be popular and pretty and wear makeup and have all these fashion items and get rich and be like Eugenia. But guys, you don't want to be that. Nobody should want to be that. I understand the allure of wanting to be thin. I get it. I was a teenager once. I understand. But this is an incredibly dangerous precedent that this person is setting on the internet. And she has her reasons. I don't want to say that the victim is someone who's a criminal. I don't want to say that she's evil. But at the same time, she's an adult. And I think that she does understand to a point. Now remember, there are delays in their development. Just because she's an adult now doesn't mean that she's actually operating with a fully functional adult brain. With that being said, I do think that somewhere in there, she does understand the effect that she's having on people. I don't think that it matters to her. I think that she's been hurt so much in her lifetime. She's not capable of relating that way with people younger than her. And if she could get through it, so can they. That's probably the mentality that we're dealing with. Again, it's my opinion. These are my thoughts, but I think this girl has suffered quite a bit. And I think the only way that she can show that is to wear it on the outside. And to emaciate, decay, get thinner and thinner. And say, look what you've done to me. Look what you have done to me. And I think it's at the hand of her parents. Substance abuse in parents can also manifest a lot of guilt in these parents. That's a pretty obvious thing that Deb is doing when she buys her more Bratz dolls instead of letting her do the horse riding lessons, when she comes and rescues her from the 5150 instead of leaving her daughter in care. Those are acts that I see of a guilty woman. She's guilty for the way that Eugenia grew up. And substance abuse is cyclical. They abuse the substance, whatever it may be. In this case, I believe it to be alcohol. And then they abuse it more because of the guilt that they feel. And a lot of the time, the child's behavior is the only way that they can communicate how they're feeling. Because a lot of the time, their emotional needs aren't cared for. They don't feel heard. And so they speak out in the only ways that they know how. They act out. Or they turn it inward and they hurt themselves in many different ways. I don't have to outline what that looks like to you. Everyone knows what that is. So I feel like this girl did exactly that. She turned it inward. And that was all she had. She had control over that. She still has control over that. I'm not going to sit here and accuse her father of doing anything to her physically. I think that's dangerous. And I don't think there's enough information to do that. But I think that someone did. Whether it was in the family or outside of the family. She's talked about it over and over again. Her teacher, the male counselor, seemed creepy to her because he wanted to be a father figure to her. And the dog stories on her Twitter. There's a lot of reoccurring themes that she feels uncomfortable around these men. And she's having those thoughts. Here's why I don't feel bad talking about Deborah or Kevin. You guys are her parents. At the end of the day, you are still responsible for this human because you created her and you brought her into this world. Just like I will always be responsible for my children. I think you stunted her development. I think that she's been through a lot because of you, and I don't know that you're supporting her to get better. This girl's really sick. And I know a lot of people are angry at her for the things that she's put on the internet, and she should take accountability for those things, don't get me wrong. But there are two people who should be accountable for this person that they created. It's my job as a mom to make sure my kids don't grow up and turn into jerks or cuss word a-holes. You know what I'm saying? That's my job. Even when they get older, it's still my job to guide them. Until I'm in the ground, I'm going to be there for my children. Where are these parents? Dragging her through a shopping mall? That ain't it. She needs to go to a doctor, a real doctor. And I don't believe that she's in a doctor's care. And if she is, you need to fire that doctor. She's dying. Please do something. Be parents. If you're drunks, go get help and then help your kid. She's on the internet. She's suffering. She's been suffering for a really long time. I don't know you people, but I know your daughter. I've watched her on the internet for a long time. Do something. It matters. She matters. So I know there wasn't like a lot of funny edits or jokes, or I didn't put a whole lot up on the screen this time. But this whole discussion about her dad really got me down, and I didn't want to joke about this. It's too serious. There's a lot of information out there on the internet about what the effects of drug or alcohol abuse can do to children. And if you're at home suffering from any of that, please reach out and get help. Take a good look at this girl. And if you have children, please think about how they could turn out down the road. I really believe that that's what this girl had to go through. I'll put up information about resources for people to reach out to, but that's really all I've got today, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you're here. Go out there, do something that matters with your time, with your energy, with your effort. Make something of the time that you've got. Live your very best lives. And thanks for watching. Bye.